Alright, so what we got here is a 2012 Volkswagen Tiguan with the 2.0 turbo. We're getting a P0299 code, which is an under boost code. Johnny and I were taking a look at it and we noticed some play in a shaft for the wastegate. It gets really loose and it doesn't close all the way or open very good. So then you're losing boost. And the only way to fix that is to put a new turbo on. So we got a brand new turbo sitting on the floor. This is the shaft right here that usually, this one's nice and tight. And that controls this little flap right here. So when it's closed, you're making boost and then it'll open up to relieve boost. And what happens, this all gets loose, all the bushings in here get super loose, and this doesn't shut all the way. So you got pretty much a leak coming out of your turbo. And this is one whole unit. So we are replacing this entire thing and get this thing making boost again. So let's get started. I might have to take a look at some of the instructions to see if it comes out from the bottom or the top, which we'll see if I'm dropping the subframe or pulling it out the top. I haven't made my mind up yet. We'll see. Bolts, new drive shaft. It's gonna be a lot of leaning and a lot of taking out hoses. No turbos. Straight up. Okay, well, I'll take it straight up. So on further review of AuData, took a look at it just before I took everything apart, just to see what the Bible says for us mechanics. They want you to take it out from the top. So I'm gonna try that. There's a lot of stuff to come out, so we'll get to it. And I need to take that off. Yep, I gotta take that off too. Okay, so then I can take the coolant lines out. I gotta drain this coolant. So the way this engine's set up, of course it's, sideways, so the exhaust is on the actual back side, and that's where the turbo sits also. That's this one whole assembly on the back of the motor. I wish it was reversed, because this would be a lot easier if it was up here and the intake was back there. But we'll do what we can. This is the cards that we got dealt, I guess. I've been taking the nuts off of the exhaust that goes into the turbo. One of the nuts decided to freeze up, so we're gonna do a little persuasion with some fire to get it out. Really don't want to break the stud, so fire's our option. But, ooh. It's a couple T30s that hold this pipe into place. So this pipe runs up to the turbocharger, and this is like the fresh air to the turbo. We are going to take this pipe out.
Usually what I will do,
Yeah.
I just take them from the body first.
Yeah.
And just lift them up with the hose. Just undo this and leave this one. And
Yeah. So We are working on the last two bolts for the, nuts for the exhaust. And we took off the oil feed line and drain line for the turbo. We took off another bracket for the turbo down below. Took off the cold side, air intake cold inside for the turbo. All we need to do now is get those last two bolts off the exhaust and undo the manifold, and we'll be pulling this thing up. Yeah, it's a little hard filming this with you know, another film crew over there filming, you know, car issues, but you know, we do what we can. So it says in the instructions on this car to remove the drive shaft out of the way. Jonny and I were talking about it because there's one bolt for this exhaust that's a real booger to get to. And I believe that's why they want to remove that drive shaft out of the way. But if you have one of these, it's a ratcheting, long ratcheting as an 18 on the other side too, and it's a flex head on both sides. 16. You can take off the heat shield for that drive shaft, slip up, you know, this up in there, break it loose, and this works so good. So it saves you a little bit of time instead of getting that drive shaft out of the way, pulling it up out of the way, and trying to get like a ratchet or a wrench, or, you know, trying to get your hands up in there to try to get it. So this works perfect, saves you some time. Oh. Hey Johnny, you want to hand me a 6mm hex with a gun? Oh, I just got to take this bracket the rest of the way out.
Oh, you just need a 6?
Yeah. Just a...
Some happen. Yep, it's great.
We'll just let that fall.
That's a good sound.
That is a good sound. Dragging up anything with me?
Nope, everything's fine. Just one connector. Haha, look at that.
It's just spinning in there, isn't it?
Yep.
Oh, I got it all oily. Okay.
Good job.
Oh, God.
Why took you so long?
I know, right? As you can see, in this one, that's a problem. So even when this isn't stationary, this should be flat up against it with no movement. And it sits there and bounces. So that's where our under boost is coming from with that P0299 code. So there's just too much play in there. We've seen like in on the N54, when this does this, there's actually a kind of like a rebuild kit that you can get. I think Johnny's done one here on the channel. I can't remember though. But you go through and repair all this, and there's also a nut that you can actually tighten these up and pull this back so it gets tighter on the BMWs. But this one doesn't have that. So you got no adjustment for the rod, and there's no replacement for the bushings or anything that go bad in these. So you just have to buy a turbo to get this problem solved. Hopefully one day they come up with a solution. But for right now, this is what we're doing. So this one, our new one, there's no play whatsoever. That is firmly down in there. So, and that's how you make boost. So we want boost. I swapped over to this coolant line because it's impossible to get when it's in, because it sits like towards the engine. And then I swapped over the return oil line on the bottom there. That was really easy to get to, and it's pretty easy to come in and out. But there's two lines that kind of overlap each other, and it was a little difficult getting it out for when I poured it out. So I don't want to put in the line that crosses over this one, so I can put in this bolt straight. So then I know I don't have any leaks or anything like that, or I'm cross-threading it into the turbo. So we're gonna put this line on, then there's a line that overlaps through that. So after I put this one on, we'll put that one on. It's really easy. It's pretty easy from the bottom, so it'll be easy to route. We'll get the rest of this put together and we'll have it running and driving today.
So we got the 2014 A6 with a 2.0 engine, which last month we did a timing chain on it. And today we're changing the turbocharger because it has a low boost code and the wastegate is pretty loose. Okay, so we got the catalytic converter loose, we got all the exhaust manifold bolts loose, and we lifted it up, trying to remove the lines here. There is one particular coolant line, and to make your life easier, you just remove the diverter valve. Otherwise, you're gonna hate your life.
Wow.
Sucker. Hey John, say hello to my little friend. Oh, John, this is worse.
Is it?
Yes.
Look how bad. Oh.
See this? Yeah, this should be like super sealed in there. Oh, look at that. We're doing the turbo on this based on the fault code P0299, the same one as the Tiguan John just fixed. Wastegate being worn out, being too loose. And this is the brand new turbo from Audi. And look how tight it is. You cannot even move the wastegate. It is like perfect. So this is gonna go in tomorrow. Pretty much the reverse order that came out. But yeah, I'm not gonna have time to finish it today. I still have to transfer everything over.
Started. I'm pretty sure that we'll probably see a lot more of these. I mean, Johnny's doing the same motor over there, so hopefully the second one goes a lot smoother and a lot faster, but it's done, it's completed. I just gotta go drive it a couple times, a couple drive cycles, make sure that it's all good and give it back to the customer.